What if tomorrow the moon simply vanished? No explosion, no warning. One moment it's there, and the next, gone. Would anything happen? Would tides change? Would Earth spin out of control? Or would we simply go about our lives, a little less moonlit? Let's find out what would really happen, step by step, day by day, if the moon disappeared. The consequences might start subtle, but they'll get stranger and deadlier faster than you think. Welcome to a world without a moon. Just like that, it's gone. No debris, no glowing explosion, as if someone turned off a switch in the night sky. So what happens immediately? For most people, probably nothing. On that first morning, the headlines might read, "Moon disappears without a trace." Astronomers would scramble for answers. Wild theories would flood the internet. But for the rest of us, it might feel like a strange curiosity, until night falls. At sunset, the sky grows dark, darker than we've ever known. Without the moon to reflect sunlight, nights become pitch black. Even in rural areas, the darkness is profound. For nocturnal animals, owls, wolves, bats, insects, this change is devastating. Their behaviors are tightly linked to lunar cycles. Mating, feeding, and hunting patterns, all thrown into chaos overnight. For ancient cultures, the moon was a guide. Even today, we'd feel its absence, emotionally, symbolically, and practically. But the darker sky is just the beginning. Here's where things get serious. The moon doesn't just light up our night sky, it controls our tides. Its gravitational pull tugs at Earth's oceans, creating the ebb and flow we see along coastlines every day. Without the moon, tidal ranges would shrink by about 75%. The sun still exerts some pull, but it's weaker. Beaches would see barely any waves. Tidal flats would dry up. Coastal ecosystems, which depend on the daily motion of water, would collapse. Birds that feed on tidal fish, shellfish that rely on tidal shifts, mangrove forests, estuaries, all would begin to degrade. Fishing industries would be crippled. The rhythms of the sea, disrupted forever. But now we're venturing into deeper consequences, ones that affect the entire planet. The moon acts as a gravitational stabilizer for Earth's axis. Right now, Earth tilts at about 23.5 degrees, giving us seasons. But without the moon's steadying influence, that tilt becomes unstable. Over thousands, or even just hundreds of years, Earth could begin to wobble wildly. Imagine Earth tilting to 40 degrees, or even 60. The consequences? Entire continents plunged into eternal winter. Rainforests scorched by new, unrelenting sunlight. Climate zones flipped upside down. Crop zones destroyed. The moon's disappearance would mean the slow destruction of seasonal balance and the eventual collapse of modern agriculture as we know it. Let's go even further. What if we jumped ahead a few thousand years into this moonless future? Humans, if we're still around, would have had to adapt to a very different Earth. Time itself would feel different. The moon once guided ancient calendars. Lunar cycles were the first timekeepers. Even today, Islamic, Jewish, and Chinese calendars still follow lunar months. With no moon, we lose that celestial rhythm. But more importantly, life itself may change. Corals, plankton, birds, insects, they all use the moon as a clock. A trigger, a calendar, a rhythm. Their extinction would ripple outward. Food chains would collapse. Biodiversity would plummet. Earth would survive, but it would feel increasingly alien. Without the moon, the Earth doesn't just wobble. Its atmosphere becomes unpredictable. The moon helps stabilize not only our axial tilt, but also the patterns of air and ocean circulation. Without that gravitational balance, our jet streams, the high-speed winds that control storms and seasonal changes, begin to behave chaotically. You could see longer, more intense droughts, hyperactive monsoon seasons, Category 6 hurricanes, flash freezes in tropical zones, deadly heat waves in what used to be temperate climates. Without the moon, Earth becomes climate roulette. Crops can't adapt fast enough. Cities built on stable weather forecasts? No longer viable. The systems we depend on, food, water, infrastructure, start to unravel. But beyond the physical world, the disappearance of the moon would cut deep into the human psyche. From ancient times, the moon has been more than just a rock in the sky. It's been a goddess, a guide, a calendar, and a mystery. Indigenous peoples aligned entire civilizations with lunar cycles. The Islamic calendar depends on it. Eastern festivals like the Mid-Autumn Moon Festival would lose their meaning. Western poetry, romance, and even werewolf myths, gone. No lunar eclipses, no crescent moons, no full moons rising over oceans or mountain ranges. We'd lose a piece of our cultural identity, and many wouldn't even know why they feel that void. For humans, the moon isn't just a satellite. It's a shared experience, one of the few constants across all cultures and time periods. Take it away, and you take away a mirror to our imagination. So, what if we tried to bring it back? Could humanity, in some distant future, build an artificial moon? Theoretically, yes, but it wouldn't be easy. We'd have to replicate its mass, its gravitational pull, its position in orbit, and its tidal effects with exact precision. An artificial moon would require megastructures, self-regulating thrusters, and a global effort in engineering, economy, and cooperation unlike anything we've ever attempted. And still, it wouldn't feel quite right. It might stabilize our axis. It might light up the night. But it would never be the moon, not the one that shaped human history for 4.5 billion years. So, could we survive the loss of the moon? Technically, yes, but only with massive adaptation. We'd need to reinvent global agriculture, engineer new tide-based systems or abandon them entirely, relocate cities threatened by wild climate shifts, and transition cultures that once relied on the moon for time, ritual, and meaning. It would take thousands of years, and not everyone would make it. Whole ecosystems would collapse. Coastal civilizations would vanish. Mass migrations would reshape borders. But human beings are resilient. And if history has proven anything, it's that we adapt. We survive. Even in a world that feels unfamiliar. Still, we'd be a civilization marked forever by that absence. A civilization that once danced in the moonlight and then lost its partner. The moon is often taken for granted. It hangs there, silent, patient, constant. But without it, we'd be living on a far more dangerous, darker, and lonelier Earth. It's not just a rock, it's a regulator, a calendar, a nightlight, a symbol, a friend. So next time you look up at the moon, whether it's full, crescent, or just a sliver, remember this. It's holding our planet steady. It's been shaping our oceans and our minds for billions of years. And if it disappeared tomorrow, we'd feel it in ways we're only beginning to understand.